Let's take you to Philadelphia now, and Angela Giampolo. She's the founder of PhillyGayLawyer.com and Giampolo Law Group. The practice is focused on LGBT law, among other areas. What are your early indicators from listening to the what we heard from the justices?
As an attorney, unfortunately, I don't think that there will be this 50 statewide sweeping ruling where we wake up in June and there's gay marriage nationwide. Based on the arguments, I don't see that happening in the slightest. But just as a human, I would tell all your listeners, this is probably the only Supreme Court hearing argument that I would actually recommend every single person listen to. It was funny. It was aggravating. It was anger producing.
Tell me the part about the anger. Was it some of the stuff from Scalia?
Right. Yeah.
Gee, how'd I know?
So apparently in Scalia's eyes, my wanting to marry my partner is nothing but an experiment. Gay marriage is an experiment that has been going on since only 2000 and is way too new for the Supreme Court, in his opinion, to decide on.
One of the things that we heard from Kennedy today was think about the children. Mm-hmm. And in speaking with the governor of Washington, Chris Gregoire, when I talked her into sending a letter to Governor Christie of New Jersey, who, of course, never responded, but that's beside the point.
Right. Right.
She shared her story. She was a Catholic. She was opposed to same-sex marriage, but a little girl came up and said, "Why don't you like my mommies and you like my friends' parents?" And she said it came down to the children. So did Kennedy today. Right.
Marriage in this country, it's really a unique and special label, right? I think it's a term that everyone in this country understands implicitly, and it's something that we aspire to. It's something that protects us both legally and financially. Kids aren't sitting there after school playing house pretending to be civil unions, right? They play house and they think and they grow up and they want to be married.
More and more people, you take a look at all of the poll numbers, I'm sure you're very familiar with them. There are more and more people like Republican Senator Rob Portman who realize, and this is pretty much all of us, we know somebody who's gay. We do. Right. And we love them deeply. We might not know they're gay. It might be our brother or our sister or our son or our daughter or our mom or our dad or maybe even grandma and grandpa or our best friends. Everybody knows somebody who's gay. And there are more people like Rob Portman day by day who realize, you know what, this doesn't really involve me.
Right. I've been giving so many shout outs to Gloria Steinem in the last couple of days ever since Senator Portman came out, because the personal is political, right? In the 70s when the feminist movement was at its highest point, the personal you can't help but make political. And the minute it got personal for Senator Portman, then all of a sudden his, granted he came out to him 2 years ago, so it took him a minute to come out, if you will, for gay marriage. And I hate to sound
better late than never. Better late than never. The same with the president.
Everybody else in the last 2 weeks that have come out for gay marriage, I think there's not too altruistic motivation that they want to be on the right side of history with this topic.
And that is one of the things I think with this entire process that we are going to learn. Again, more hearings tomorrow. Angela Giampolo, a founder of PhillyGayLawyer.com and Giampolo Law Group. Thank you so much for joining us from Philadelphia tonight.
Thank you for having me.